If you keep telling that my English is wrong, I don't have fluency, I don't know how to communicate, my English is not so effective, not so fluent, you might be wrong. Because this is exactly what every single cohort participant said. When they came to us, their major concern was, Yogeshwari, my English is not up to the mark. I have to give presentations, I have to talk to senior clients, I have to talk to my boss, give reports, but every single time I wanted to present, I am held back by my English, by my fluency. And then this one major shift happened. We worked with them for 30 days during the cohort, and they started telling, Yogeshwari, my English is not wrong, or my English is not the problem. The actual problem is something else. When we started working with them, here are the three things that we fixed. If you can understand whatever I'm saying right now, if you are someone who can read and write in English, if you are a mid career professional or a leader or senior at your work, and you feel that your English is holding you back, your accent is holding you back, your grammar is holding you back, I'm telling you, your English is not your problem or may not be your problem. Because with every single one of them, this is what we found. After fixing these three things, within one session, their English drastically improved up to 70%. They said that they are more fluent, more confident, and more effective with their words, with their thoughts, with their expression of ideas. Now, if language is a problem, this is not possible. I'm telling you, you cannot learn a language within one session. Now, this is possible because language is not their problem. Their actual problem is number one, structure, and number two, thinking fast. Now, you also, if you are a leader, ask yourself, do you have so many information inside your head, and every single time when you are asked to present, so many things going in your head, and you don't know where to start? You don't know how to take the conversation forward. You don't know how to end. You don't know what are the points to cover because there are too many points and you want to cover everything. Every single time you are speaking, if your thoughts are running fast, if you are thinking fast and you want your mouth to catch up to the speed, and if you are speaking fast, then your English is not your problem. Your actual problem is your thinking speed and the structure that you are using to express your ideas. Now, here is what we did inside the Speak to Lead cohort. With every one of them, I just told them to follow three things. The first and the foremost thing is to structure their thoughts. Whatever you want to say, put it into a clear opening, a clear story, and a clear ending. Now, once they have structured their thoughts, the next thing, second thing, is to pause between every idea. Now, here we call that as micro pauses. Just listen to me speaking, observe me speaking. I'm not speaking as a thank you everyone. Good morning. Welcome to Coffee and Communication. This is Yogeswari. Here we are going to talk about why English is not your problem, but communication is your problem and the structure is your problem, because it is so important for you to understand that your thinking speed and your speaking speed is not so good, and because of that you're struggling. I'm not speaking like this, right? I'm pausing between every idea. Now that pause is giving me time to take my breath, is giving me time to organize my thoughts, is giving me time to structure my sentences. It's giving me time to understand whatever I'm saying. Am I making sense or am I just blabbering? Those micro pauses are extremely crucial. And the third one is we are just working with them to help them understand that every single time you are speaking, you need to reduce the speed of your speech so that you can actually see what is there inside your head and complete one thought before jumping in onto the next thought that your brain is throwing. Tell me, every single time you're speaking, are you thinking about multiple things? You're starting about an idea, and then you are jumping to another idea, and then you're coming back to the first idea, and then you're moving forward to a different idea, and then you're telling finally altogether a different thing. Now, if this is happening, this is not your English problem. This is actually the thought process and your speech is not in alignment. Your brain is throwing multiple ideas and you don't know how to handle them. The best way is to reduce the speed of your speech. Now, when you reduce the speed of your speech, you'll be able to understand what's happening inside your brain. You'll be able to regulate. Now, while you are reducing the speed of your speech, once you have started with one idea, complete that idea, complete every sentence that you are speaking, complete every word that you are opening your mouth to say before moving on to the next word and next sentence and next idea. Now, this is a major key point where you will have loads and loads of grammatical errors. If you are having grammatical errors, the major reason is because you're jumping between ideas and you are not giving time to your brain to process those ideas, and because of which you are missing a couple of words. And at the end of the day, it's landing up as an error. Now, there could be one more reason. If you have learned your English listening to someone speaking wrong or sentences with grammatical error, then you also tend to make those grammatical errors. What you listen is what you speak. Listening is the input, and your input, quality of your input decides the quality of your output, which is your speech. And that is why at times you mispronounce a word because you heard someone saying it at a faster pace and you observed that word and probably it sounded different and you tried to utter the word without understanding the actual pronunciation and you pronounce it wrong. Now, all of these things is not an English problem. You know English. Now, if you really want to work your fluency, especially your executive fluency, here are the three things that I recommend highly to do right now. And I'll tell you the techniques that I am giving you. It is super fast and super effective. I've seen transformations happening within one session. Within one session, my cohort participant told me, Yogeshwari, my English is not good. I want to fix that. Fantastic. Just do these 3 steps right now. And at the end of that 3 steps, they saw their English getting transformed. It was like magic for them. It's not a magic. It's clearly a psychology and a system. So I'm giving that system which we are following inside Speak to Lead right now to you. And if you are telling that your English is stopping you from your career growth, your English is stopping you from your promotion or your appraisal, or your manager is telling you to work on your English, try this. The next time you are speaking or when you are practicing your presentation, reduce the pace. Complete every word the way I am speaking right now. Every single word I'm completing before I go to the next word. And I give a lot of space, a lot of pause in between for me to take that breath. Because if you lose your breath, you would get your words would get jumbled and you would miss certain words. Errors would creep in because your brain is not having enough oxygen to process. So pause, micro pause. Now, step number one is to reduce the speed of your speech so that your thoughts will also appear in a reduced speed. Visualize everything in front of you. That's step number two. Structure. Visualize what's your opening, what's your story, or what's your concept, what's your ending. You need to know these three crystal clear. If you are not very particular and specific with your opening, I'll tell you 100% you would open with, I think, thank you so much for this opportunity. Good evening, everyone. Good afternoon. I'm going to waste your time like this. You would do that. So that's why you need to be very particular about how you open your speech. What if it is a technical thing? What are the three concepts? Do not go anything more than three. What are the three concepts? If it is not a technical thing, if you are just going to speak about something where stories can be included, add one story. And then you need to have a clear call to action, which is ending. What do you want your audience to do at the end of your speech? Now, this is called as visualization or structuring your speech. That's step number two. Step number three is micro pauses. Pause between every idea. I'll give you an example. Right now, just observe the way I'm speaking. Every single time you speak, you need to pause between the ideas in order to land that idea clearly, in order to make your audience understand whatever you're trying to say, so that you will also have a lot of space, pause, and time to process the idea, to structure your sentence, to frame your sentence, and to deliver it with power. I used a lot of micro pauses in between. Now, when you use micro pauses, you will get ample amount of time to process the next set of information, next idea, and it flows with impact. After doing all of these things, still there could be certain errors, and those errors are just that you are not aware that it's errors. To name a few, subject verb agreement, where singular plural in the present tense, or certain past tenses. For example, perfect past or past perfect and everything. So that I'll cover in the next coffee and communication. But the first step, in order to even make those technical things effective, you have to first start here. If this is not clear, if this you're not practicing, that will not help you. So with that, I would like to leave you today, and I want you to practice. I want you to tell me, what is the one challenge that you are facing in your communication? If that is solved, you would literally be a powerhouse, expressing your ideas, powerfully presenting your ideas in front of your seniors, in front of your colleagues, and you would literally grow in your career. Let me know. I'll make a video on that tomorrow and we'll discuss, because your doubt is going to help so many professionals. A lot of people who have that doubt, they may not know that they have that doubt. But if you ask, I'll do a coffee and communication on that tomorrow. And so many people will get benefited out of that. Let's help each other and let's grow together. See you tomorrow, sharp at 8. Coffee and communication with Yogesh.